May it please the court, Your Honor?
Yes, ma'am.
Before you is Mr. Hakeem Epps, here on case number 2024 GS450114. Your Honor, he was charged and indicted for grand larceny, value $2,000 or more, but less than $10,000. He is represented by Attorney Virgil Barr of the Winsburg County Public Defender's Office. It is my understanding that he wishes to plead guilty to the charge. The state's recommendation is a probationary sentence in this matter with restitution to the King Street Housing Authority in the amount of $4,000. I do have a copy of the victim impact that was filled out in regards to this, where they are requesting the $4,000 in restitution. It's my understanding as well, the defense counsel wishes to have a restitution hearing on the matter to confirm that amount.
He's been represented through the Public Defender Office. At first, he was represented by Mr. Kane, but then representation was transferred over to me.
Okay. And you explained to him the nature of the charge, possible penalty he could receive his constitutional rights regarding the jury.
I did, Judge. I shared with him that I believe that based on what he's been charged with or what he's been agreeing to, it's a 0 to 5. Made him aware of that.
Mr. Epps, today are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol, sir?
No, sir.
Ever have any treatment for any mental health problems?
No, sir.
You understand that grand larceny value greater than $2,000 carries a maximum penalty of 5 years?
Yes, sir.
You understand that it is under South Carolina law considered a property crime, and if you get 2 or more convictions for property crimes on a third property crime charge, you would be facing enhancement because of your prior record. And for example, if you were under that enhancement provision, it would take this charge from a 5 to a 10-year offense. Understand?
Yes, sir.
You have 10 days from, you'll have 10 days from the date when the restitution hearing is conducted if you wanted to appeal. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right? The state is going to give you the facts, and then I'll come back to you, Ms. Austin.
In your honor, on January 8th of 2024, around 10:56 p.m., Investigator Lee with the King Street Police Department received a complaint of a death at the location of 1013B Lexington Avenue, which was located in the town limits of King Street, South Carolina. He met with the complainant, Mr. Robert Burgess. He advised that he works for the Housing Authority and noticed that around 9 a.m. that morning that the air conditioner was missing from that apartment unit. Mr. Burgess advised they were there to clean up the apartment due to the tenant moving out, and they tried to turn on the heater to make sure it was working, and it wouldn't work. That's when he went outside and observed that the unit had been taken. He said the last time he knew the unit was there was when he last did an inspection on January 4th, 2024, around 5 o'clock p.m. Investigator Lee did observe fresh tire tracks at the back of the residence and observed there was a camera pointing in the direction of the apartment. Investigators did get in contact with Ms. Deborah Williams, who is the director at Frierson Home, in reference to the death of the air conditioner. She was able to provide video footage of the crime and was able to identify the suspect as Mr. Hakeem Epps. She stated that Mr. Epps stays with his girlfriend, Denise Brown, in apartment 1006A. On the video footage, it showed Mr. Epps walking across the road to the rear of that apartment where the unit was stolen. It also showed Mr. Epps carrying tools across the road to the unit, as well as him backing his brown and color Ford Crown Victoria behind the apartment, and shows him loading the unit up in the trunk of the car and driving off with it sticking out of the trunk. In regards to his criminal history, back in 2007, he had an armed robbery.
Mr. Epps, the facts that she recited are substantially correct.
Yes, sir.
There's substantial facts. Please find the defense decision. Plead guilty is freely, voluntarily, intelligently, made these things advice and counsel. If an attorney with whom you satisfied, I will accept the plea. Mr. Ball.
Thank you, Judge. I represent Mr. Hakeem Epps. And Judge, he is 36 years of age. He's from the King Street area. He does have a daughter who's 8 years old. Judge, he desires to get this matter resolved and behind him. He was diligently here pretty late on Friday to meet with myself and Mr. Kane because he wanted to get this resolved. This is actually, I think the court can see, it's a 2024 case number. So we're asking for the court to consider a probationary sentence in the court's discretion, but we would like for the court to consider for the probation to terminate upon successful payment of the restitution. And of course, as outlined, we do plan to have a hearing on that. But Mr. Epps has accepted the responsibility, Judge, and we're just asking for the court to consider the probationary sentence and allow for that probation to terminate upon successful payment of the restitution.
All right, Mr. Epps, anything that you want to say, sir?
No, sir.
All right, the way I'm going to structure this is going to take into account that the restitution figure is undetermined at this point. The state's requesting a pretty high amount, all things considered. But I'm going to leave the way for the sentence to be completed in a relatively short fashion if the restitution amount is considerably less than $4,000 that's been requested by the victim. So the sentence is going to be 4 years. That's suspended. He's placed on probation for 5 years. Now, the probation can terminate after 18 months if the restitution is paid in full, and a restitution hearing will be conducted within 90 days. Obviously, it's better to do it sooner rather than later, but that'll give you all an opportunity to, if it can't occur this week, given 90 days. So what that means, Mr. Epps, is you've got to do 18 months on probation. But if after 18 months passes, you've paid all the money back, then your probation terminate. So I put that 5-year probation number on there just to, if I order $4,000, it might take you that long to pay it all back. So this way it would give you incentive to get it paid back as soon as possible. But because you've got a prior conviction, I'm going to have you do at least 18 months probation. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. Good luck to you, sir.
Raise your right hand and place your left hand on the Bible. Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
May it please the court. Before you is Mr. J. Sean Gamble here on case number 2024 GS450077. Your Honor, he was charged and indicted for grand larceny value more than $2,000 but less than $10,000, and malicious injury to personal property value more than $2,000 but less than $10,000. He is represented by attorney Timothy Griffith. He is here this morning to plead guilty to both of those charges. Your Honor, seated in the courtroom, we also have the victim in regards to this, Mr. who does wish to address the court at the appropriate time. The state's recommendation for this is a probationary sentence. There is restitution that will be due in this case. We're going to have a restitution hearing at a later date. So we would just recommend a probationary sentence that's long enough to give him time once we have that completed amount.
Mr. Griffith, you represent J. Sean Gamble.
Yes, Your Honor.
Explaining the nature of these charges, possible penalty you could receive, and his constitutional rights with regard to his jury trial.
I have, Your Honor.
Mr. Gamble, today are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol?
No, sir.
Ever have any treatment for any mental health problems?
No, sir.
You understand that grand larceny value greater carries a maximum penalty of 5 years,
Yes, sir.
and likewise the malicious injury to personal property greater than $2,000 carries a maximum penalty of 5 years.
Yes, sir.
You doing this freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
Satisfied with the services of Mr. Griffith
Yes, sir.
and pleading guilty to both of these charges because you are in fact guilty.
Yes, sir.
You have 10 days from today's date to appeal the pleas or the sentence. If you want to appeal, the appeal will have to be filed in writing with this court. The state's going to give me the facts on the case, and I'm going to come back.
And Your Honor, back on August 18th of 2023, around 7:49 a.m., Agent Lee with the King Street Police Department arrived at the location of 609 East Main Street, which is located within the town limits, in reference to a stolen vehicle. When officers arrived on the scene, they were met by Mr. Archie Epps, and he advised that he was working on a black and color 2008 Dodge Charger that belonged to Mr. Brandon Rhymes. Mr. Epps advised that he was notified that the black and color Dodge Charger was taken from his shop sometime after 5 p.m. the day prior. Mr. Epps advised that one of his employees was notified by the owner of the vehicle that J. Sean Gamble had taken the vehicle from the shop and was seen joyriding in that same vehicle. Also on August 18th, around 4:00 p.m., that is when Agent Lee made contact with the owner, Mr. Brandon Rhymes, in regards to the car. He advised that one of his neighbors that lives in the apartment saw Jay Sean driving the vehicle that morning on August 18th. Mr. Rhymes advised that his neighbor called him, let him know that Mr. Gamble had pulled into the Kings Crossing Apartments in that stolen vehicle, tried to get people to get in the car with him, to ride with him. When no one would ride with him, that is when he backed over the curb and sped from the parking lot at a high rate of speed. King Street Police Department did speak with a friend of Mr. Rhymes. The interview was recorded as well. He advised that he and some friends were standing in the parking lot of Kings Crossing Apartments in the morning hours. That's when they saw the black and colored Dodge Charger pull into the parking lot. They thought it was Mr. Rhymes, which is why they flagged down the car. But when they pulled up, they saw Mr. Jay Sean Gamble driving the car. He stated that everyone in the parking lot that morning told Mr. Gamble that they weren't riding with him because they knew who the car belonged to. The friend then asked how Mr. Gamble got the car. He stated that he took it from the shop down the road, and the friend told Mr. Gamble that he better park the car and leave it alone. After that is when Mr. Gamble began backing the vehicle up, backed over the curb, and then hit the car and sped out the parking lot. There was no lights on, and he struck several speed bumps going at a high rate of speed, causing the damage to the vehicle. In regards to his criminal history, he does not have any significant criminal history, Your Honor. And again, seated in the audience, we have the
All right. Mr. Gamble, the facts that she recited, are they substantially correct?
Yes, sir.
I find there's substantial factual basis for the plea. Find the defendant's decision to plead guilty is freely voluntarily and intelligently that he's had the advice and counsel of an attorney to be satisfied. I will accept the plea. Before I hear from Mr. Griffith, let me hear from Mr. Say anything. A hearing either in front of me or some other circuit judge to determine the appropriate amount of restitution that he would be ordered to pay you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you being here.
Thank you, Judge.
All right.
Your Honor, Mr. Graham is currently 20 years old, so back then he was still 18, I believe, at the time. But, Your Honor, he was drinking and doing stupid things, he admits. And I've talked to his brother, his sister, and his mother, and he has told them as well that he doesn't plan to continue this because he really doesn't like it over there in the detention center. He does have plenty of local contacts, Your Honor. He will be staying with a cousin, he tells me, here in King Street. And we do understand that, he does understand that the restitution amount, I've talked to him about the proposed amount, but we would ask the court go along with the recommendation for probation, Your Honor. He has actually been in the jail over there for about a year, Your Honor. And so, of course, credit for any time served should the court decide to impose a sentence suspended to probation.
Do we have an exact number of days for time served?
Locked up January 24th of 2024.
It's been over a year then.
Yeah. So that'd be
419 days.
19 days.
Gamble, anything that you want to say, sir?
I'm sorry, Your Honor?
Mr. Gamble, anything that you want to say?
No, sir.
Okay. All right, because of this restitution issue being outstanding, I'm going to structure this sentence similarly to the one I did yesterday. Mr. Gamble, I'm going to follow a recommendation. We sentenced you to 5 years in the Department of Corrections. That's suspended and placed on probation 5 years, and the reason I'm putting 5 is because I don't know what the restitution period will be. But I will allow him to terminate his probation after 18 months if the restitution is paid in full. So that will give you some incentive. So what it boils down to, Mr. Gamble, you've got to do at least 18 months on probation. I'm putting the 5 years in. That will space the payments out so that you'll be more likely to be able to make them per month. Like I said, without a figure, it's kind of hard. So this is a way to ensure that if the figure is a large figure of restitution, that it will give you time to get this victim paid back. And I'm ordering that the restitution hearing must occur within 90 days. Good luck to you, sir. He gets credit for the time he served.
Thank you,
Thank you, Your Honor.
Raise your right hand and place your left hand on the Bible. Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
May it please the court, Your Honor.
Yes, ma'am.
Before you is Mr. Tyrone Flagler, here on case number 2024 GS450021. Your Honor, he was charged and indicted for failure to stop for a blue light first offense. He is represented by Attorney Chris Keenan of Winsburg County Public Defender's Office. He is here this morning to plead guilty to that charge. The state's recommendation in this matter is a 6-month probationary sentence.
Mr. King, you represent Tyrone Flagler.
I do, Your Honor.
Explain to him the nature of the charge, possible penalty, and constitutional rights with regard to a jury trial.
I have your,
Mr. Flagler, today are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol, sir?
No, sir.
Ever have any treatment for any mental health problems?
Way about over 10 years ago, kidney problem, kidney on.
Okay, but
No.
nothing that would impact your ability
Oh,
to
no, no, sir.
understand what you're doing?
No,
That's
no,
what I'm
sir.
getting at.
No,
Okay.
sir.
You understand that failure to stop for a blue light carries a maximum penalty of 3 years in prison?
Yes, sir.
You have 10 days from today's date to appeal the plea or the sentence. If you were to appeal, the appeal would have to be filed in writing. This court states will give you facts, and I'll come back to you.
Your Honor, back on November 6th of 2023, around 12 o'clock p.m., Officer Pope with the Hemingway Police Department was on patrol for the town of Hemingway, right in front of the Hemingway Police Department. That's when he noticed a white and colored Chevrolet Suburban that was traveling northbound on the highway, and he was traveling with an expired decal. The officer attempted to pull over the vehicle. The officer was able to catch up with the vehicle to conduct a lawful traffic stop at the intersection of East Broad Street and Burton Road. The vehicle then made a right turn onto that road and pulled off to the shoulder, coming to a complete stop and putting the vehicle in park. This officer notified 911 dispatch at the traffic stop with the required information. As he was putting the information, that's when he noticed the tag on the car was not registered to that motor vehicle. The officer had a suspicion that this vehicle was stolen, so he exited his patrol car to advise the suspect of that as he approached the driver's side door. As the officer was standing in the door frame of his patrol vehicle preparing to give verbal commands to the driver, the suspect, Mr. Flagler, then put the vehicle in drive and fled from the traffic stop. He fled from the traffic stop at speeds in excess of 80 miles per hour, traveling back down Burton Road, attempted to make a sharp right turn. The vehicle and the driver lost control and he crashed into a ditch. Officer Pope had to draw his firearm in regards to this, told the subject to stop his vehicle. Again, the subject failed to comply. He got back in the vehicle, continued to drive off. He got behind him again, and he started traveling in excess of speeds of 100 miles per hour. The pursuit ended near Paisley Street on South Carolina Highway 41. The suspect attempted a right turn on the Paisley Street. He overcorrected, and then he crashed into a fence at the intersection of Highway 41 and Paisley Street. And Your Honor, Mr. Flagler does not have any criminal history.
Flagler, this fact substantially correct.
Yes, sir.
I find there's a substantial factual plea, finding the decision pleading guilty is freely, voluntarily, and intelligently made. He said the advice and counsel of an attorney that can be satisfied. I'll accept the plea. Mr. King.
Your Honor, Mr. Flagler is 47 years old, has no kids. He's lived in Hemingway his entire life. Works at Palmetto Paper Tool, been there for 15 years. In speaking with him, he realizes he made a mistake. He said he simply got scared and took off. I think he realizes that a whole bunch of other problems could have happened during this chase. He regrets having made the bad decision to leave the scene, to take off, and we just asked the court to accept the recommendation.
Mr. Flagler, anything that you want to say?
No, sir.
Mr. Flagler, your lawyer kind of hinted around it, but when you fail to stop, you're putting yourself and everybody else that's on the road in danger. And I can only assume that the offer was made on this case because you reached 47 years old and have no significant criminal history. So I hope this one's going to be a lesson that, you know, whatever the reason you're being stopped for, it's better to stop and
Yes, sir.
face up to the speeding ticket, or, you know, the decal on the tag is
Yes, sir.
improper. It's gonna be a lot easier to deal with than running and something far worse could happen. So I will follow a recommendation. Sentence is 1 year, suspended, 6 months probation. How long did he spend in jail after he was arrested?
2 days, Your Honor.
Okay. I give him credit for the 2 days that he served. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you for everything.
This is Christian News TY. I'm Tony Carney. Is there any newsworthy events? We will get them to you as soon as possible. If not, you can follow us on Christian News TY Facebook. You can follow us on YouTube, and you can follow us on our website.